Good morning, good morning, good morning. Had a very nice morning. Dry anyway, so I'm happy. The postman has been. I just thought I would share with you what the postman has bought before I go away and do a whole pile of form filling, which I have to do, which I'm not looking forward to. I don't do forms. So, yeah. The last couple of days, the postman has been. He came this morning and bought some stuff, which I'm very pleased about. So, some flock that I got. 3 different colours, 3 small bags of different grades, but different colours. And I mix them all together just as one lot, which gives me quite a nice colour, so I'm happy with that. Grass tufts. I've been buying grass tufts, and I have to say, I know a lot of you people use these grass tufts. This is the first time I've used them, and I gotta say, they do set off a model very well. I couldn't think then. They set off a model very well. Just a couple. Don't go mad with them, but they look very good. I'm very pleased with them, so that's nice. I also got artillery, French artillery, which I've been waiting for, and I have to say, what I see thus far, they look very good. 2 cannons, a 6-horse team and limber, and 2 horses for 2 command figures. The level of flash is really very good, which is one thing I always look for. I have to say, some of the gunners look rather elderly, I must say, rather elderly gentlemen. But the level of detail on these is very good. What I like is the guy with the telescope. He's actually both hands, not one hand, which looks really, really stupid. So that's nice. Looks a little bit, the limber team looks a little bit fiddly, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. But I'm sure I can do it. It's no problem. So that's nice. It'll be a while before we get around to that, because we're doing British infantry, British light infantry, so stuff like that will have to wait. We've also got a Zvezda cannon and team. If I can get into it. Here we go. So that looks pretty good. One thing I will say with this, apparently this is all snapped together, which is fine, but apparently the gun and all the crew go in this one base, which I don't care for. Sure, I'll put the cannon on that, but the gunners, I like to put them on separate bases, just so I can remove them as casualties. But again, the level of flash looks very good, I must say. very good. I'm always pleased when I see minimal amounts of flash. There's nothing more sort of, I don't know, I guess disheartening when you see some really nice looking figures and they're just loaded in flash and you just know, I really want to paint these, but there's a lot of work involved in getting rid of the flash. But these, they look pretty good. They look pretty good. So, happy with that. And this morning, the postman came again. And we have, I think this is just another, let me get a knife here. I think this is just another one of the Zvezda cannons. I have a feeling for some reason I ordered 2 thereof. I don't know why. If I can get into it without without cutting myself. This is excuse me, British Foot Artillery. House of Campaign, 172nd British Foot Artillery, 1815. Well, let's have a look, see what we have. Well, a huge box for what's inside. I mean, is that it? 32 pieces. 8, 16, 24, 32 pieces. Well, there's a thing. So you basically have 4 of these. Which amounts to that. So, was there any need for a box that size? I mean, alright, it's got a little write-up on the back about it, but I mean, really? Flash looks pretty good. I mean, this is the first time I've had anything by a call to arms. So, yeah. Detail, I have to say, doesn't look the best ever. Not to me, anyway, not as crisp as one would like. A bit of flash in the spokes and 1 or 2 of the wheels, but that's nothing. That's a job for the Flash Dragon. That's nothing. 4 gunners per artillery piece. Is that enough? How many gunners were on a British gun? We'll have to find out. But if needs be, we can make extra gunners. That's no problem, because we could use, I can instantly see we could use British infantry, like Airfix British infantry figures. We could use them as extra gunners, just cut off the backpack. That would be no problem. So we'll find out how many gunners were on a artillery piece. Excuse me, I'm very slow this morning. I've not been feeling well, and my brain just will not compute. Yeah, it may be that there's like half a dozen gunners to a gun, in which case we're too short. But like I say, you know, you can easily make them out of airfix British infantry or something. I mean, it's no big deal. You're all out there shouting at me the number of gunners to a gun. Probably, I would think, a couple more than 4, probably 6. But anyway, what's pretty good about these is the level of flash is pretty minimal. It's not too bad. There's some on it, but it's not as bad as some figures I can think of, like the hat. French Young Guard, they was just loaded in flash. Again, these will have to wait until we get through the British infantry. And this, I guess, this must be the other box of French foot artillery. Yeah, it is, which we just shown you. So we have a couple of those now. So that's nice. So, the postman has been very good to us today. But we will try and get on with these hat British infantry figures. I think I've decided more or less, we were saying in our last video that we wasn't sure whether we was going to amend the shakos or just leave them. I think I'll just leave them for the amount of trouble that it is. I mean, it's just, they'll look okay. And I mean, like we always keep saying, they're only gaming pieces at the end of the day. Alright, we like them to look as accurate as possible. And if there's something actually missing, like the French Old Guard, the plume was missing on the bearskin, so I think that's too big a thing to leave out, so we did it. But this these are fine. I think these are fine. We'll do a battalion of these and then see what happens next. I mean, the level of detail on these and the crispness of the detail is nice. And there's, yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of flash, but I mean, it's nothing. And as per usual with these things, there's no standard bearers and no musician. So this guy carrying a rifle, shouldering a rifle, I'll get 2 of them, cut the rifles out, just put a pole in, and they'll do for flag bearers. That's nothing. But I've been trying to think what I can do for a musician. There's 2 possible routes I can go down here. There's nothing here that you could really say, well, I'll convert that into a musician. The positions just don't allow for that. So the only other thing I could do is make a drum and take one of these figures and sling the drum over the shoulder as though the figure's carrying the drum. I could do that. Or failing that, the only other thing I could do, excuse me, is get another British infantry figure, say an airfix one, something like that. Something that I could convert to a musician. But, you know, one way or the other, I would like to have a musician in this battalion. I like to have a musician in every battalion I do. It's just something I like to do. It's just sort of, I guess, sort of I'm not going to say a trademark, but just something I like to do. I like to have at least one musician in a battalion. So probably more thinking about it, what I'll do more than sling a drum over the shoulder is I'll get a figure from Airfix British Infantry, of which I have an inordinate amount. And I'm sure I can find something within that lot that I could convert to a drummer, or even a bugler perhaps, just a musician. But anyway, that's our next thing. And hooray for the postman, bought us some goodies. So I just thought you would like to see what the postman has bought. As always, I'm now going to go and fill out a whole load of paperwork I have to do. But as always, happy painting. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.